Well, hey guys, it's Jessica Leichtweisz, and I'm working from home today, and I wanted to come on and I wanted to share this quick tip for you. And that's why it's so important when you're teaching your child with autism to talk that you're always reinforcing his best attempt to communicate. And here's where this is coming from. Now, when children are learning to talk, oftentimes we want them to jump, we're so frustrated. Maybe they're going to be 2 or 3 and they're not talking yet. So we want them to be able to say whole words. Maybe they want bubbles, and this happened for me in a session. And obviously, I want the child to say, "I want bubbles, please." And as a parent, you want the child to say, "Hey, mom, give me the bubbles." But here's the realistic thing. They're not going to right away be able to do that. In fact, they may not even understand that they're supposed to say something to get what they want. So whenever they say something that tells you and indicates that they want something, you want to reinforce it, even if it's just a sound, even if it's not a word, even just like, "Ah," because from the very first time, neurologically, you're training their brain to understand. I say, I get. I say, I get. They have to first understand that when they speak, that's a form of communication before you work on what they're saying. And children, even if they're learning to talk late, they have to go through the natural progression of learning to talk, which first is babbling and making sounds, those baby sounds. Even if a child's learning to talk at 3, they're going to do that before they start learning words. They still have to go through the natural progression. So even though as a teacher, as a therapist, as a parent, it can be really easy to try to get your child to say the correct word. Like if they want bubbles and they've never really tried to communicate with language before, and they're like, "Ah," you're like, "Great, you want bubbles, you tried to say bubbles," and then eventually maybe you'll get them to say "ba" and maybe or maybe "bubba" or bubbles, and it could be with anything, but initially you're going to reinforce any and all attempts to communicate. As a matter of fact, oftentimes when children are actually making sounds, they're not even doing it on purpose. Maybe you're pushing them on the swing and you stop pushing them and they don't really have any language and they just make a sound. They're like, "Ah," and maybe it's even a complaint or a moan or a groan. You still want to reinforce that because you're training their brain on a neurological level. I say, I get. I say, I get. They have to connect the fact that they're saying something with the fact that they're getting what they want. That's how they're going to learn that language is a form of communication. Initially, they may not understand that. So it's not so important what they say, but what is important is that you're reinforcing them. Now, this actually brings me to one other thing, slightly different topic, but still part of this. One of the things that once a child is saying things, let's say they are saying words, maybe they're not saying it very clearly. So their articulation is an issue, even though they're trying to say words. A lot of times a parent or a teacher will make the child repeat things multiple times in order to get them to say things more clearly. Now that might be okay for some kids, and it might be okay to do that once or maybe even twice, but here's the problem. When you keep doing it over and over, especially if they're new to language, you're new to talking, and they're just learning to talk, they're going to get frustrated. They may actually shut down. So you want to make sure that anytime they're attempting to communicate, that you reinforce it. So you're not frustrating them and they're gaining access to a reward, the reinforcer, right? That's what's going to make the behavior happen again. If they have to put in too much effort to get what they want, they're not going to do that. That's called response effort. It's not going to work. So make sure you're reinforcing any and all attempts to communicate. So listen, in this video today, you probably heard airplanes in the background. You might have heard birds. My dog might sometimes jump into these videos. Wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I'm thinking about you. I know autism doesn't stop for your family. So whether it's having lunch on my back porch, whether I'm at the gym, sometimes you'll see me at the gym hiking, you're never going to know where I'm going to make these videos. It's not about what's in the background. It's about the fact that I really want to help your family. I know autism doesn't stop for your family, so I never stop thinking about you and how I can serve you in a greater capacity. So please forgive the background noise. I live right by the airport, so a plane happened to, I think, take off while I was making this video. Forgive that and just know that I really care about helping your family. If you're watching this video on Facebook and you haven't actually found my YouTube channel yet, all these videos, they go onto my YouTube channel. You can get there directly by typing in parenttrainingvideos.com. I make videos just like this one several times a week, and there's so much great information on there. If you're trying to teach your child with autism to talk, you're having some issues with with their behavior. Maybe you want them to eat better. You know, there's videos covering everything. So check out the channel. If you like this video, if you like the content, please share it with anyone you think can benefit from it. It would be such a great help to me in helping me achieve my mission, which is that every parent everywhere in the world knows how to help their child with autism. So I really hope this video